Yo, listen up. This ain't no regular headline. This right here is the kind of story that makes the whole internet stop scrolling and lean in. Because what I'm about to tell y'all, it's wild, it's messy, and it got the streets, the fans, and even the feds whispering. Reports just broke, and if the whispers are true, the FBI's latest leaked document might have just exposed something the industry has been low-key trying to bury. They're calling it the Von tape, a supposed classified transcript allegedly taken from sealed files, reveal what may have been King Von's final words, and who they were directed to. None other than his brother-in-arms, his day one, Lil Durk. And let me tell you right now, if what's in this leak is real, this could flip everything fans thought they knew about their bond. Social media already in shambles, tweets going viral, comments flooding in like a tsunami, folks screaming no way, others swearing they always knew something was off. The OTF camp dead silent. Durk's team ain't saying a word. But when the feds whisper, the streets listen. And what's even crazier, rumor has it, what Von said wasn't just emotional. It was personal. Real personal. We talking betrayal, secrets. A message meant for one man that the whole world might now hear. Stay right here, because what's coming next? It's bigger than rap. When the FBI leak first started moving in whispers, nobody really believed it. People thought it was just another fake headline to stir up clicks and chaos. But when a certain audio clip got passed around in private group chats, industry circles started paying attention. This wasn't just some random fan theory anymore. This was the kind of thing that could shake up everything. Von's last moments, his last breath, and words directed straight at Durk. Sources close to the situation claim the transcript came from an undercover agent who was on site that night. According to them, the FBI had access to audio the public had never heard. This wasn't no cell phone footage from a shaky fan on the block. This was crystal clear surveillance picked up from equipment placed nearby for another unrelated investigation. When those recordings were allegedly decrypted, what they found wasn't just gunshots and chaos. They found a conversation, Von's voice, emotional, raw, like he knew something was coming. In that recording, right before the shots, Von reportedly said something to Durk that had everyone in the room frozen. "You switched up on me," he whispered. And then, moments later, the chaos erupted. Friends who were supposedly around that night are claiming they didn't hear those exact words in the moment. They say everything happened too fast. But the FBI leak suggests otherwise. According to the document, the words were clear, like a knife through quiet air. Fans are already dissecting every syllable online. Conspiracy pages are blowing up. The streets are talking heavy, and it doesn't stop there. An insider who allegedly saw a piece of the report said Durk was pacing back and forth hours before the incident, looking distant, not angry, not panicked, just off. People in the crew said they'd never seen him like that. There were whispers that something had gone down earlier in the day, something between Von and Durk, that nobody outside their closest circle knew about. One person, who claimed to be part of the extended crew, said the argument started over business. Von wanted to go independent. He'd been talking to new labels, trying to set up something that would make him his own boss. Durk, on the other hand, wasn't ready to let go of that bond they'd built. Von was making moves, real moves, the source said in a low voice, and some folks didn't like that. It wasn't just about music, it was about loyalty. The tension had been building for weeks, little things here and there. A verse that didn't get cleared, a show that got cancelled last minute. Von had started keeping more to himself. He'd show up at meetings, but his smile wasn't the same. He wasn't that loud, playful Von everyone knew from the interviews and lives. He was quieter, sharper, like he was carrying something on his back. Hours before the shooting, Von and Durk allegedly had a heated conversation in a back room. Nobody recorded it, but folks nearby said the walls were thin. They heard voices raised, doors slammed. Someone even claimed they heard Von say, "You ain't the same no more," and then silence. After that, Von walked out. Durk stayed inside for a few minutes, breathing heavy. According to one person, he had his hands on his head, just standing there. When he finally came out, he didn't say a word. Then came the night, the moment that changed everything. Von outside, cars pulling up, lights flashing, people shouting. That same source swears they saw Von glance over his shoulder one last time, and Durk wasn't where he expected him to be. The FBI transcript describes the final exchange in chilling detail. The agent wrote, "Subject A, King Von, looked toward Subject B, Durk, mouthed words quietly, tone emotionally loaded. The actual words, "You switched up on me," were allegedly captured by a mic hidden across the street. Nobody knows how that audio ended up outside federal hands, but it did. And once something like that hits the streets, there's no putting it back. The next morning, the internet exploded. Durk's Instagram went dark. No posts, no stories, no statements. Fans flooded his comments on old posts, dropping snake emojis and questions like, "What really happened?" and "Say something, bro." Von's fans, already heartbroken, started piecing together every clip, every interview, every lyric, searching for hidden messages. One viral tweet read, "If Von really said that to Durk, that means he knew." It got hundreds of thousands of retweets overnight. Bloggers picked it up. Media outlets ran with it. Some called it disrespectful to speculate. Others said the truth needed to come out. But behind closed doors, things were even messier. Von's family was divided. His sister reportedly confronted someone close to Durk during a private gathering. People say voices were raised, drinks were thrown, and someone had to step in before it got physical. "Don't act like y'all don't know what happened," she allegedly shouted. Durk's camp, on the other hand, was moving quiet. No interviews, no statements, just silence. Some fans said the silence spoke volumes. Others said he was grieving and didn't owe anyone anything, but the rumors only grew louder. And just when people thought the story couldn't get any deeper, another alleged piece of the transcript leaked online. This time it wasn't just words, it was a timestamp, a time that didn't match the official police timeline. Online detectives went wild. Entire YouTube channels dedicated to Von and Durk started dropping breakdown videos, pausing every second of the leaked audio to match it with security footage. One popular channel pointed out that Durk's location on the leaked timeline didn't line up with what was reported publicly. "Where was Durk really?" the host asked in a shaky voice. Because according to this leak, he wasn't where everyone thought he was. That question became the headline across blogs and gossip pages. Fans debated day and night. Some defended Durk, saying people were twisting the narrative. Others said they always felt like something was off. Meanwhile, law enforcement wasn't saying a word. No confirmations, no denials, just quiet. That kind of silence only added more gasoline to the fire. And that fire was spreading fast. People close to Von started dropping cryptic posts on social media. One of his cousins wrote, "Everything in the dark, gone come to the light." Another friend went live, tears in their eyes, saying, "He told me things before he died, but I can't speak on it." It wasn't just a leak anymore, it was becoming a movement. Fans weren't just asking questions, they were demanding answers. They started tagging the FBI, tagging blogs, flooding comment sections with Herr Von Struth, and in the middle of that storm, Durk was nowhere to be seen. The first real crack came when a former member of their crew, someone who hadn't spoken publicly in years, suddenly popped up on an Instagram live. He was in a dark room, hoodie pulled tight, face half hidden. "Everybody keep asking what Von said that night," he muttered. "Y'all really don't want to know," he paused, breathed in heavy. "But I'll tell you this, he ain't say it out of hate, he said it out of hurt." Fans went crazy. Clips of that live spread like wildfire. TikTok edits, Twitter threads, long YouTube breakdowns. And with every new rumor, the mystery only got deeper. And right when it felt like it couldn't get more intense, an anonymous message appeared in a major hip-hop forum claiming that not only did Von say those words, but that there was another part of the audio that nobody had heard yet. A part that could change everything. When the anonymous message hit that hip-hop forum, it didn't take long for it to spread like wildfire. The post was short, no face, no profile picture, just a black background with a few chilling words. "The audio y'all heard ain't the full thing. The second half changes everything." Within an hour, screenshots were everywhere. Twitter, Instagram stories, even private fan group chats that usually stayed quiet. This wasn't just a rumor anymore. People felt something was about to break wide open. According to people close to the situation, the second half of the alleged tape wasn't just Von's voice fading in pain. It was a conversation between two people in the background, voices low, rushed, like they were trying not to be heard. One of them, fans swear, sounded like Durk. The transcript of the new leaked segment started making the rounds through encrypted DMs and group chats. No one knew where it came from, but everyone wanted to hear it. In that supposed second half, Von, weak but still breathing, says something like, "Don't let them play me like that." Then a voice, calm but shaky, replies, You know what it is. And then silence. No screams, no gunshots, just silence. That silence sent chills down fans' spines. They started picking apart every word, every pause, every breath. Was it loyalty? Was it betrayal? What did you know what it is even mean? TikTok detectives uploaded slowed-down versions of the audio. Reddit threads got thousands of comments in minutes. Behind the scenes, the families were being pulled into the storm, whether they liked it or not. Von's cousin, who had already made cryptic posts, went live again, this time more emotional. Tears rolled down her face as she said, "They think we stupid. They think we don't know what went down that night. But we do." The live was up for less than 10 minutes before she deleted it. But by then, screen recordings had already hit the net. Meanwhile, Durk's team seemed to be scrambling. One of his managers was spotted outside a studio late at night looking stressed, on the phone, pacing back and forth. Someone recorded him and posted it with the caption, "He know the wall's closing in." It went viral instantly. Inside the industry, people who had stayed silent since Von's death started making little moves. A few unfollows here, some quiet likes on suspicious posts there. People noticed. Fans track everything, and nothing goes unseen anymore. One of Von's former collaborators liked a post that said, "Loyalty don't mean the same to everybody." That alone set off a firestorm of speculation. And the twist, someone claiming to be part of security that night came forward on a small podcast. Nobody knew if he was telling the truth or chasing clout, but what he said was enough to make headlines. "Look," he said, his face blurred out, voice distorted. "They told us to keep eyes on the front. They told us don't look back. That's all I'ma say," the host leaned in. "Who told you that?" The man hesitated. "People who was close to Durk." The internet lost its mind. Overnight, hashtags exploded again. You know what is. Fonstruth, Durk knows. Fans turned into investigators, matching outfits, footage angles, timestamps. Someone even claimed to find a frame where Durk wasn't where he was supposed to be at the exact minute of the first shot. But this wasn't just about fans anymore. Sources close to law enforcement started hinting that the leak had forced the FBI to reopen a segment of the investigation. No official statement was released, but a reporter who's known to be close to the Bureau tweeted something cryptic. When something leaks, it usually means something else is coming. Von's mom, who had stayed silent for months, finally posted something that made everyone stop scrolling. A black screen, white text. The truth gone hurt. No hashtags, no names. Just that. Within minutes, her comments were flooded. Fans crying. Fans demanding answers. Fans tagging Durk. And through all of that, Durk said nothing. But silence can be louder than words. Then came another shocking layer. A former associate of the crew who had distanced themselves after Von's death decided to speak up on a late-night Instagram live. They were clearly nervous, pacing in a dark room, voice trembling. "Y'all keep talking like y'all know everything," they said. "But y'all don't even know the half. If y'all heard that second half of the audio, y'all would look at everybody different. Not just him. Everybody." Someone in the comments asked if Durk was involved. The person paused, looked straight into the camera and said, "I can't say names, but let's just say, loyalty don't look the same when money get involved." Then they ended the live. Those few sentences were enough to send the internet spiraling again. Fans started digging into old interviews of Von and Durk, looking for awkward glances, coded phrases, anything that could confirm what they wanted to believe. Clips from their last appearance together went viral again. One part, where Von laughs but his eyes look distant, became the centerpiece of 1,000 conspiracy videos. But not everyone believed it. Some fans pushed back hard, saying the leaks were fabricated to tear down Durk. "They always try to break brothers apart," one fan tweeted. Another said, "Y'all so desperate for drama, y'all forget these were real people with real pain." The fan base split right down the middle, half convinced there was a dark truth, half defending Durk with everything they had. Inside the camps, the tension grew. One insider claimed that people who used to roll together every day hadn't spoken in months. Meetings got cancelled. Texts went unanswered. "Ain't no trust left," the insider said. "Everybody's side-eyeing everybody." And then, like a plot twist nobody saw coming, a major blog released a blurry image that they claimed came from the leaked FBI file. It was nothing but a line of text, but it was enough. Additional parties identified on recording. That line changed everything, because now it wasn't just Von and Durk being talked about. The streets started whispering names. Old beefs were dug up. Old alliances re-examined. Who was in that car? Who made that call? Who really knew what was about to happen? And just like that, a story that started as one leaked phrase, "You switched up on me," had now spiraled into something way bigger. It wasn't just about one night anymore. It was about loyalty, betrayal, power, and money. And with every passing hour, the world got more convinced that somebody, somewhere, was hiding something. People close to Von started to pull back from social media. Too much pressure, too much heat. Meanwhile, Durk still said nothing publicly. No statements, no lives, just silence. And that silence felt heavy, like the calm before another storm, because everyone knew this wasn't the end of it. If the first half of the audio shook the internet, the second half could burn it down. And as the sun set that night, fans across the world sat staring at their screens, waiting for what would drop next. No one slept easy. No one knew who to trust, but everyone knew something was coming, something big. As the third night after the second audio leak hit, the streets got louder than ever. It wasn't just Twitter fingers and TikTok detectives anymore. Reporters were camped outside certain Chicago studios. People in Atlanta were whispering at gas stations and corner spots, like they already knew what was about to blow. It felt like the calm before something heavy. Folks said even people who usually don't speak on this kind of stuff were on edge. Then, at around 3 a.m., a blurry 30-second audio clip started spreading like wildfire through private Telegram groups and locked Discord servers. It wasn't the full second half everyone had been whispering about, but it was enough to set the internet on fire again. In the background of the clip, you could clearly hear Von breathing weakly, and then a second voice. Some said it was Durk's, whispering, "It wasn't supposed to be like this." The clip ends with a car door slamming and someone yelling, "Go!" That's it. But those few seconds, they flipped everything upside down. But those few seconds, they flipped everything upside down. The next morning, the blogs went crazy. Say Cheese reposted a screenshot with nothing but the words, "It wasn't supposed to be like this," in quotes. Fans flooded the comments. So he was there. That voice sounded just like Durk. Nah, this can't be real. Bro, that line gave me chills. Lawyers, bloggers, street insiders, fake insiders, everybody had something to say. Some people swore the clip was real and came from the leaked file. Others claimed it was AI generated to tear down Durk. Either way, the seed of doubt had already been planted, and it was growing fast. Behind the scenes, things were getting more intense. 2 people from Von's circle were seen arguing outside a club. People say it got physical. Phones came out. Somebody streamed a few seconds on live before security shut it down. You could hear one of them yelling, "You know what happened? Stop acting stupid." Fans picked it apart like detectives. Who was yelling? Why? What did they know? Inside Durk's world, it wasn't any quieter. Someone close to his team unfollowed 3 people from Von's side in a single night. Those kinds of moves don't go unnoticed. Fans keep score like it's a playoff game. That same night, Von's sister reposted a quote on her story. "Ain't no loyalty in a world where money talk louder than hearts." No names, no captions, but the timing said everything. Comments exploded. She talking about Durk. She knows something. She not playing. As if that wasn't enough, an ex-bodyguard who had been quiet for months decided to go on a small YouTube channel. Not a big platform, just a regular late-night stream with maybe a few hundred live viewers. But that clip would end up being one of the most talked about pieces in the story. The host leaned forward, asking, "Do you think the second half of that tape is real?" The ex-bodyguard took a deep breath. "Look, I was there, not in the middle of everything, but close enough to hear some things. And what y'all don't get is, Von was already suspicious way before that night. He felt a shift, he told people. He just ain't think it would come from that direction." The chat went crazy. People spamming emojis, dropping question marks. The host pressed him harder. "So when you say that direction, are you talking about Durk?" The bodyguard froze for a second. "I ain't saying names," he said, but loyalty got tested. And it ain't pass, the clip spread fast. The words, "loyalty got tested," trended for 2 days straight. Inside the music industry, the tension wasn't just in the streets anymore. Promoters were getting cold feet about future shows. Venues started quietly backing away from certain bookings. Some people in Durk's circle allegedly felt like they were being watched. Rumors started swirling that Durk's team was trying to get ahead of the storm. One insider claimed they had reached out to major blogs, asking them to slow down on reposting the audio, but it was too late. Once something like that hits the internet, there's no stopping it. Fans began creating timelines. Entire spreadsheets appeared online mapping out Von and Durk's last week together. Texts, interviews, public sightings, everything, even old lives where they were laughing together, got dissected like evidence in a courtroom. Some people said they saw pain behind Von's smile. Others said it was all love. Then came the biggest twist yet. A voice message, allegedly from someone in the crew, leaked onto a private blog. In the message, a man could be heard saying, "They don't even know we had to move him out the way." The blog tried to delete it fast, but not fast enough. Fans had already screen recorded and re-uploaded it everywhere. This one sentence caused a digital earthquake. Hashtags changed overnight. Switch Up trended globally. YouTube commentators started dropping hour-long videos with titles like "The Night Everything Changed" and "Von Knew." People who had nothing to do with the situation started picking sides. Some rappers posted cryptic tweets. One artist tweeted, "Snakes always close enough to bite." Another said, "Every real one eventually see the truth." Nobody mentioned names. Nobody had to. Meanwhile, Von's mum posted a photo of a candlelight vigil with the caption, "He ain't die for no reason." No filter, no music, just that. By now, the tension between the families had reached a boiling point. Insiders said certain people couldn't even be in the same room anymore without things getting heated. One source claimed a private meeting happened at a house outside Chicago, where voices were raised and tears were shed. Nobody from either side would confirm it, but neighbors reportedly heard shouting that night. In the middle of all this, the original FBI leak kept spreading. Not just the quote, people claimed they saw documents naming unidentified individuals on the tape. The speculation got even messier. Names were being thrown around loosely, some innocent, some not. Blogs started warning people to be careful with accusations, but fans didn't care. The narrative was already out of control. Durk, still silent, was spotted for the first time since the leak. Paparazzi caught him leaving a studio, hoodie pulled down low, face expressionless. No words to reporters, no statements online. Just a single look that people have been analyzing frame by frame since. A popular podcast even brought on a voice analysis expert who claimed "it wasn't supposed to be like this" audio matched Durk's speech patterns. Others argued it was fake. Either way, it added fuel to the already blazing fire. Von's cousin went live again, more emotional than ever. "If y'all only knew how he felt before he left," she said, tears in her eyes. "He felt alone. He felt betrayed. And you're gonna hear everything soon. Everything." People in the comments begged for proof, but no proof came. Just more emotion, more cryptic messages, more unanswered questions. And with that, the story wasn't just about what happened that night anymore. It had become a war between truth and perception, loyalty and betrayal, silence and confession. As the third part of this storm played out, everyone watching knew one thing. The next move, whoever made it, was going to change everything. Because after this, there was no going back. As the sun came up the next morning, it felt like the whole world was holding its breath. 3 parts of the story had already exploded across the internet, and now everything was building towards something nobody could stop. The second audio clip, the whisper, the silence, the voice message, the fights. The fans went into meltdown. This wasn't just 2 voices anymore. There was a third person on that recording, a new character in a story already spinning out of control. Blogs exploded with headlines. "Third voice identified, new layer in Von leak." The betrayal goes deeper. Von's family reportedly held a private meeting that night. According to someone who claimed to be close, emotions were high. They was crying, yelling, everything, the source said. The audio changed everything for them. It wasn't no maybe no more. They know something went down. On the other side, Durk's camp went into complete lockdown. No posts, no leaks, no comments. But one thing caught fans' attention. Durk wiped several posts off his Instagram overnight. Posts with Von in them. People noticed instantly. "If you innocent, why you delete?" one fan commented. Meanwhile, online, fans tried to figure out who the third voice was. Theories popped up like popcorn. Some pointed at crew members who hadn't been seen in a minute. Some said it was security. Others claimed it was someone even closer. Names were thrown around recklessly, making things more dangerous than ever. A friend of Von's went live at 2 a.m. Their face was blurred, their voice low. "Y'all don't understand," they said. Von felt that betrayal heavy. He was trying to fix it, but it was too late. When fans begged them to explain more, they just shook their head and ended the live. Meanwhile, more behind-the-scenes details started leaking. Apparently, weeks before Von's death, he'd had multiple arguments with people close to Durk about contracts, money, and power moves. Von wanted to branch out. Durk wanted to keep him under the same umbrella. They argued about shows, royalties, and who was really calling the shots. It was business. But in their world, business can get personal real quick. The streets had already chosen sides. Some people were yelling "Justice for Von" louder than ever. Others defended Durk fiercely, saying all of this was a setup to tear him down. The fan base was split like a line down the middle. The Chicago community felt the tension too. Barbershops, corner stores, late-night studios, everywhere people gathered, they were talking about the leak. It wasn't just gossip now. It felt personal. The wildest twist came when a well-known former associate of the crew went on a big podcast. Everyone knew he had history with both Von and Durk. People expected him to dodge questions. But instead, he leaned forward and said, "Von ain't lie. He said what he said because he felt something. And that something came from the people closest to him." The room went dead silent. The clip went viral within an hour. Durk's silence was getting heavier by the day. Even people who had defended him started asking questions. "Bro, just say something," one fan tweeted. "If this ain't true, speak up," others warned. "This story getting too big, too messy. It's gonna swallow everybody." Rumors of investigations being reopened were circulating again. No official confirmation, but reporters were circling like vultures. "Leaks like this don't just happen," one journalist tweeted. "They happen when someone wants something exposed." As the night dragged on, Von's sister posted one more chilling message. "He ain't die alone. And when the truth come out, some people gon' wish they talked earlier." That line was like a match thrown into gasoline. Fans flooded the internet again, dropping theories, videos, names, timelines. Nobody was sleeping. Nobody was backing down. What had started with a single whispered line, "You switched up on me," had now turned into a storm involving 3 voices: FBI leaks, broken loyalties, family pain, and an entire world watching. And everyone could feel it. And now, we're here. The end of a storm that started with one leaked whisper and grew into something way bigger than anyone expected. From Von's alleged final words to Durk, to the mysterious second voice, to the third voice nobody saw coming. The story's no longer just whispers in back rooms. It's out in the world. The families are divided, the fans are split, the industry is shaking. Loyalty, betrayal, power, and pain, all tangled up in one night that changed everything. The truth is, we still don't have all the answers. There are more questions than ever. Who was that third voice? Why was that second half of the audio kept hidden so long? And why did Durk stay silent through it all? Was it grief or something deeper? The streets are watching. The fans are listening. The world is waiting for that one move that'll either bring clarity or blow everything up even more. We don't know who's telling the truth, but what's clear is that the story isn't finished, not by a long shot. If you've been following this from the start, then you know how deep this runs. The emotional weight, the shifting alliances, the pain left behind. This ain't just rap news anymore. It's a story of trust, betrayal, and the kind of secrets that don't stay buried forever. And now, I want to hear what you think. Who do you believe? What do you think really happened that night? Do you think the FBI leak is real or a